First contact and revelation. The deep void of space stretched endlessly before the UNSS Horizon, Earth's most advanced deep space exploration vessel. Captain Maya Chen stood on the bridge, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic display. After 3 years in the vast emptiness beyond the Kuiper Belt, the ship's sensors had finally detected something unusual. A massive object drifting silently through the darkness. "Readings confirmed, Captain," announced Lieutenant Riza Katami, the ship's sensor officer. "It's definitely artificial, approximately 1.5 kilometers in length. No active power signatures, but there's something odd about its composition." Maya nodded, her curiosity piqued. Humanity had ventured farther into space than ever before, but they had yet to encounter definitive proof of intelligent alien life. Until now, perhaps. "Bring us alongside, Lieutenant. Let's get a closer look." As the horizon approached, the mysterious object revealed itself. A colossal vessel, its hull marked with strange geometric patterns that seemed to shift and change when viewed from different angles. Parts of the ship bore scars of what could only be weapons fire, while others remained pristine, as if untouched by time. "It's ancient," whispered Dr. Elaine Moss, the ship's xenobiologist. "Possibly thousands of years old, but the materials, they're unlike anything in our database." The decision to board the derelict ship wasn't made lightly. After hours of heated debate among the senior staff, Maya authorized a small exploration team. She would lead it herself, a choice that raised eyebrows but silenced objections. If humanity was about to make first contact, she wanted to be there. Clad in environmental suits, the team crossed the void between ships via a tethered approach. The alien vessel's hull seemed to ripple as they touched it, almost as if responding to their presence. A previously invisible seam parted, creating an entrance. "It's inviting us in," Maya said, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. Inside, the corridors stretched like arteries through the massive ship, illuminated by a soft blue bioluminescence that activated as they moved forward. The air was breathable, remarkably similar to Earth's atmosphere, but with traces of unknown elements. The gravity felt natural, suggesting advanced technology beyond human understanding. But it was what they found in the central chamber that changed everything. Thousands of crystalline pods lined the walls, each containing a figure suspended in time. The beings were humanoid but clearly alien, tall and slender with iridescent skin that shifted colors like oil on water. Their faces were delicate with large almond-shaped eyes, closed as if in peaceful sleep. "They're alive," Dr. Moss confirmed, her instruments scanning one of the pods. "In some form of stasis. Their metabolic rates are nearly zero, but there's definite neural activity." As the team moved deeper into the chamber, a single pod at the center began to glow brighter. The crystalline material became transparent, revealing a being slightly different from the others. Its skin bore intricate patterns that could be tattoos or natural markings. Without warning, the pod opened. The team stepped back, weapons raised instinctively as the alien figure rose slowly, its movements fluid and graceful. Its eyes opened, entirely black save for pinpricks of light that resembled stars. "You are human," it spoke, the words somehow forming in their minds rather than through sound. The alien identified itself as Talon, a navigator of the Nefari. Their ship, the Solitude, had been adrift for centuries after escaping what Talon called the Purge. The Nefari were a species of travelers and scholars who had once been respected members of a vast galactic community known as the Collective. "But we became feared," Talon explained, sadness evident in the mental voice. "Our ability to connect with the quantum fabric of reality was seen as dangerous. When some among us began to manipulate energy and matter through thought alone, the Collective declared us a threat to cosmic stability." The Nefari had been given a choice: undergo a procedure to remove their abilities or face extinction. A small group chose a third option: escape. They had been hunted across galaxies, finally entering stasis to hide their energy signatures from pursuers. "And now you have found us," Talon said. "The first species to discover us who are not part of the collective. We do not know if this is fortune or doom." The revelation sparked intense debate aboard the Horizon. Some crew members advocated for leaving the Nephari in stasis, arguing that humanity wasn't ready to be drawn into an interstellar conflict. Others saw a moral obligation to help. They'd been abandoned by an entire galactic community. Maya argued during a tense meeting with her officers. If humanity turns its back on them too, what does that say about us? Over the following weeks, more Nephari were awakened. Each shared fragments of their history and culture. They were a peaceful species, their society built around the preservation and sharing of knowledge. Their abilities, which they called threading, allowed them to perceive and manipulate the quantum fields that permeated reality. Dr. Moss worked closely with the Nephari, fascinated by their biology and abilities. "They don't see it as supernatural," she explained to Maya. "To them, it's as natural as breathing. The universe is made of information, and they've evolved to read and write that information directly." The Nephari proved to be quick learners, absorbing human languages and customs with remarkable speed. They expressed childlike wonder at humanity's resilience, having developed space travel without the abilities the Nephari took for granted. "You build with hands what we would shape with thought," Talon told Maya. "There is beauty in your approach, a connection to your creations that we sometimes lose." Not everyone aboard the Horizon welcomed the aliens. Lieutenant Commander Victor Ramos, head of security, kept his team on high alert. "They could take over this ship with a thought if what they say about their abilities is true," he warned. "We're playing with fire." His concerns seemed validated when one of the younger Nephari, frustrated during a cultural exchange session, unconsciously caused a power fluctuation that disabled life support in an entire section of the ship. Though quickly rectified, the incident left several crew members hospitalized. "It was not intentional," Talon insisted. "We have been in stasis so long. Some have forgotten control." The tension aboard the Horizon reached a breaking point when long-range sensors detected approaching vessels, 3 of them moving at impossible speeds. "They found us," Talon whispered, fear radiating from the alien in palpable waves. "The collective has found us." The alien ships dwarfed the Horizon, each at least 5 times its size. They surrounded the human vessel and the attached Nephari ship in a perfect triangular formation. A communication request came through on channels the humans shouldn't have been able to receive. On the view screen appeared a being unlike any the humans had seen. A vaguely humanoid form composed of what looked like liquid metal, constantly shifting and reforming. Unidentified species. It spoke, its voice translated by the ship's computers. "You have taken possession of fugitives condemned by the collective. Surrender the Nephari immediately or face eradication." Maya stepped forward, her face composed despite the fear gripping her crew. "This is Captain Maya Chen of the United Nations, Stellar Ship Horizon. The beings you refer to are under our protection. We request dialogue before any action is taken." The being's form rippled with what might have been amusement or anger. "There is no dialogue regarding collective law. The Nephari represent an existential threat to cosmic stability. You have 1 planetary rotation to comply." As the transmission ended, Maya turned to Talon, who stood trembling on the bridge. "What aren't you telling me? Why does the collective fear you so much?" Talon's star-like eyes dimmed. "Because they cannot control what they cannot understand. And because once, long ago, one of us unmade a world." Alliance forged in fire. The revelation hung heavy in the air of the Horizon's conference room. Maya sat at the head of the table, her senior officers arrayed around her, with Talon and 3 other Nephari representatives present. The alien had just finished explaining the true reason for their exile. "It was not intentional," Talon emphasized, distress evident in the mental voice that reached them all. Varial was young, brilliant, exploring the deepest aspects of threading. The catastrophe occurred during an experiment. An entire world, Lysithia, unraveled at the quantum level. Billions lost in an instant. And one individual's mistake condemned your entire species. Dr. Moss asked, her scientific curiosity battling with horror at the scale of destruction described. The collective does not recognize individual responsibility the way humans do, another Nefari named Sailor explained. They see species as singular entities. One Nefari's actions are the actions of all Nefari in their view. Lieutenant Commander Ramos slammed his hand on the table. So we're harboring a species capable of destroying planets with a thought. Captain, we need to reconsider our position. Maya raised a hand for silence, her gaze never leaving Talon. Could this happen again? Could any of you accidentally unmake the horizon? Or Earth? Talon's skin pulsed with dark colors, a sign of deep emotion. No. After Lysithea, our people developed mental disciplines that prevent such catastrophic threatening. Even at our most careless, the scale would be limited to small areas, and we would never harm those who've shown us kindness. Maya stood and paced the length of the room, weighing impossible options. Surrender the Nefari and betray the trust of beings who had done nothing to harm humanity, or defy a vastly superior force and potentially bring destruction upon not just the horizon, but perhaps Earth itself. The collective has given us a deadline, she finally said, but they've also given us time. We'll use it. What followed was the most intense 24 hours in the Horizon's mission. Engineers worked alongside Nefari to boost the ship's defenses. The Nefari, though physically frail after centuries in stasis, contributed their unique understanding of energy fields. Dr. Moss made a breakthrough when she realized the Nefari could enhance the Horizon's shields by threading energy directly from the quantum foam. They can't create a weapon, she explained to Maya, but they can make us harder to kill. Meanwhile, Communications Officer Lai Chen worked to broadcast a message toward Earth, knowing it would take years to arrive, but feeling obligated to warn humanity about the greater galactic community they had unwittingly encountered. When the deadline arrived, the three collective vessels moved into attack position. The alien commander appeared on screen once more. Your decision, primitive species. Maya stood tall, her crew behind her, the awakened Nefari scattered throughout the ship at key positions. The beings you call fugitives have asked for asylum, and we have granted it. Humanity does not abandon those in need because of fear. Then you share their fate, the alien replied coldly. The first attack nearly overwhelmed the horizon. Energy beams of impossible power sliced through space, impacting the shields with devastating force. The ship rocked violently, systems failing across all decks. But then something remarkable happened. The Nefari, positioned at key junctions throughout the vessel, began to glow with inner light. Their eyes turned completely luminous as they collectively engaged in the most complex threading they had attempted since awakening. The Horizon's shields didn't just hold, they began to absorb the energy directed at them. Each attack strengthened rather than weakened their defenses. Maya watched in awe as damage reports ceased flooding in. What's happening? She asked Talon, who stood beside her on the bridge, skin glowing with effort. We are remembering who we are, the alien responded, voice strained. Not destroyers, but shapers. Not weapons, but shields. The collective ships intensified their attack, but the combined effort of the Nefari created a defensive barrier unlike anything in human engineering. The Horizon not only survived but managed to maneuver, positioning itself to make a desperate attempt to reach the edge of the solar system, where they might be able to attempt a risky FTL jump. But the collective commander recognized the strategy. One of the massive ships broke formation, moving to block their escape route. The situation seemed hopeless until Silar, the eldest of the awakened Nefari, stepped forward. Captain Chen, the alien communicated directly to Maya's mind. I have lived many lifetimes. I was among those who escaped the original purge. Perhaps it is time to show the collective why they feared us, but also why they were wrong to condemn us all. Before Maya could respond, Seller's form began to change, becoming increasingly luminous until the alien was barely visible as a humanoid shape. The elder Nefari floated from the deck, passing through the hull of the Horizon as if it were mist. In the vacuum of space, Scylla expanded, becoming a brilliant star-like entity visible on all sensors. The collective ships immediately diverted their attacks toward this new threat, but their weapons passed through the transformed Nefari without effect. Scylla's voice reached everyone aboard the Horizon. Remember us as we truly were. What followed defied explanation in human terms. The Nefari elders seemed to merge with the fabric of space itself. The collective vessel blocking their path didn't explode or break apart. It simply ceased to exist in their reality, displaced elsewhere through what Talon would later describe as reality threading on a scale I had thought impossible. The effort cost Scylla everything. The brilliant light winked out, leaving no trace of the elder Nefari's existence. The remaining collective ships halted their attack, clearly stunned by what they had witnessed. Maya seized the opportunity, ordering the Horizon to make the FTL jump while they had the chance. The ship lurched, stars smearing across the view screen as they escaped. Days later, when they had reached a safe distance, the full impact of what had occurred began to settle in. The Nefari mourned Scylla, conducting a ceremony where they each contributed threads of memory to create a shimmering tapestry of light that they released into space. Scylla did not destroy that ship, Talon explained to Maya afterward. That would have proven the collective right about us. Instead, the ship and its crew were shifted to another point in spacetime. No lives were taken. A month later, as the Horizon continued its journey home with its Nefari passengers, a transmission reached them from the collective. The liquid metal being appeared more subdued than before. The action of the Elder One has caused reconsideration within the collective. A single Nefari sacrificed itself not to destroy, but to preserve life, both yours and our own. This requires further evaluation. It wasn't peace, nor was it acceptance, but it was a beginning. The collective would not pursue them further, at least for now. In the observatory of the Horizon, Maya stood with Talon, looking out at the stars that would guide them back to Earth. Your people took an enormous risk for us, Talon said. The collective will not forget nor fully forgive. By sheltering us, humanity has placed itself in the awareness of forces you were not ready to face. Maya smiled, placing a hand gently on the alien's shoulder. Perhaps this is exactly what humanity needed. A reminder that compassion isn't just a human trait, and that standing together against injustice is worth any risk. And if the collective comes to Earth? Talon asked, stars swinning in those otherworldly eyes. Then they'll find that humans may lack your ability to thread reality. Maya replied, but we've threaded something just as powerful throughout our history. The unbreakable bond between those who stand together against tyranny, no matter how different they may be. As the Horizon continued its long journey home, carrying the first aliens humanity had ever encountered, both species began to learn from each other. The Nefari taught humans about the wider cosmos and the fundamental nature of reality, while humans taught the Nefari about resilience, creativity, and the strength found in diversity. They were no longer simply two species thrown together by chance. They had become something new, the foundation of an alliance that would one day challenge the very notion of what was possible when different worlds stood as one. The universe had rejected the Nefari, but humanity had become their guardian. And in doing so, humanity found its place among the stars.